Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 71 of the Rebel Scum podcast. I'm James Razile, joined with...
And I'm an Ewok.
I was joined with Wicked Smink.
Brock the Ewok.
Brock?
Ewok Brock.
That's how long did it take you to come up with that one?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. I love this. When did you get this attire here?
When I left Endor. No, I bought it at Electronic Boutique, EB Games in
GameStop
Canada here.
in America.
GameStop in America. Cool stuff. I was like, oh my god, it's an Ewok thingamajig.
And Return of the Jedi, we're going to do, hopefully on New Year's Day, we'll be doing ranking Star Wars. And Return of the Jedi last year was your number one. Do you see that changing?
This is going to be after Last Jedi, right?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Ooh.
It's definitely going to make top 3, if not top 2.
Wait a minute. So it could drop from 1 to 3 based on Last Jedi.
Anything is possible. Last Jedi could make another. It could possibly be, if Last Jedi is as great as it sounds, it could be Last Jedi, then Attack of the Clones, then Return of the Jedi.
That'd be amazing.
Then Curve and Courage.
Where you learn about Phasma's past. Guys, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks. If you like the show, subscribe to the channel. Also, that really helps us out. Thanks for sticking along with us. It's been less half a week almost, where we run a video every single day on the channel. We're doing that until The Last Jedi is released on December the 14th. Monday, December 11th, we have the Duel of the Fates. Darth Ward, Rob McDonald taking on Joshua Lucas from the Den of Nerds.
The Denim Nerds.
That should be a lot of fun. That'll be Monday, 7 p.m. on this channel. You're going to be all over this channel.
Sweet.
Yeah, you got a couple days from now, you got the Should Leia Be Recast vote of no confidence with Rob McDonald himself, and you reviewed the Luke Skywalker, the Legends of Luke Skywalker book.
That's correct. I like to read.
You and Andrew both like to read. I like to read. I haven't picked up any of the new books because, I just haven't.
Yeah.
I'm reading a Charles Dickens book right now.
Yes, because it's Christmas.
Yeah, but no, that's not the one I'm reading though. And also, everybody that sent in your predictions for The Last Jedi 4-hour contest, that was fantastic to see.
Thanks.
We promise there's a Scavenger Scum coming up where Aaron will be reading a bunch of those because some of them were great. Some of them were, I think, spoiler alert, all of them are wrong.
Or they're all right.
They're all right. Yeah, actually, no. When I was reading it, some of them I was like, oh, all right. Cool.
How crazy would it be if someone actually got it like 80 to 90% to 100% right? Like,
I would feel in the theater, I'd be like, wow, I've read this already.
Yeah. So it's like, that'd be amazing and terrible all at the same time.
Yeah, I completely agree. But thanks a lot, guys. It was because at first when we first announced it, nobody sent in anything, and I was like, well,
thanks.
This is bombing badly. And then as it got closer and TV spots starting to roll out, everybody was like, guys, my thoughts. This is the only way it's going to happen. Snoke is Leia.
They all wrote it on their like Thanksgiving vacations. Because I just assume most people that listen to us are American, which is nowhere near true.
Actually, no, that's very true. It goes America, UK, Canada, like Brazil, Japan, or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, and shout out to, is it the Higgins? What's their last name?
Yep, Higgins.
Shout out to them because they bought shirts. And you sent me a picture of, is it Mandy?
Yeah, Mandy in the pork shirt.
Of the pork shirt, and it looks great. Like, shout out to her and her husband, of course, Andrew. Shout out to TeePublic because that's like the pink on that looks amazing.
Yeah,
like, that looks like a legit shirt because TeePublic make legit shirts. And shout out to my friend James here for designing such a fantastic shirt.
Thanks. I like Jaws.
That was a triple shout out, and now I'm done.
Triple shout out. All right, but let's move on because a couple things dropped after we set the show up. So let's talk about it. First of all, let's get this one right out of the way. Rian Johnson has said that his new trilogy will not be Old Republic. Brock, how do you feel about that?
Who cares? See, it kept throwing me off too because I kept thinking he was talking about the TV show, and I keep forgetting that he's not writing the TV show. It was just all announced at the same time. No, that makes sense because I feel like all movies move forward, even though we're getting a Han Solo movie. But you know what I mean? Like main trilogies, because that's how they have to make all these movies now, is moving forward or staying in that same sort of time period. I don't know why I feel like this, but it just makes sense to me. Do I want some kind of Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic, whatever? Yeah, that'd be great. But I think we've all said it before that it would be great as a Netflix show.
Yeah.
Or, not named Netflix, but you know what I mean.
But they're having their own streams there. When this news first dropped, we talked about it right away, and Bob Iger said in the statement that it would explore something in Star Wars that had never been explored before. And everybody seemed to just ignore that.
Yeah.
And people were like, well, it's got to be Old Republic. Why does it have to be Old Republic? Yeah. Look, Old Republic's cool and all, but you've seen it.
Yeah.
And now, and we scheduled the shows and what we're going to talk about on one night, and we purposely had a flying casual on the TV show possibly being the Old Republic for a reason, because the film was never going to be Old Republic. And the streaming show could very well be that. I mean, it also doesn't have to be that. There's nothing because Old Republic could live in video games. They could, they're not, because they have stopped making Star Wars video games. And I think that Battlefront 2 has just killed all video games for Star Wars forever. But, that's where it lived, and that's fine. But there's a story there that everybody's comfortable with, and they don't call it canon, but everyone's comfortable with it. And I think they're comfortable enough. And if they go in there and they ruin any of that, then you're gonna have a uprising. Battlefront 2.
I think people need to relax and just remember that they don't have control. So inevitably fans have control of how successful these movies are, but But we don't get to choose what happens. What they end up making is not up to us. And I find it odd that when Rian Johnson has to publicly say his trilogy is not going to be about Knights of the Old Republic. I thought when they were making this petition, it was mostly for a show about Knights of the Old Republic.
It was a Netflix show.
Yeah, that's where I kind of oh yeah, because everyone wanted that petition, blah 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 blah. That makes sense. But that was a TV show. He's talking about the movies. I don't know. It's
if they want to hit me with an Old Republic movie at some point, I'm fine with that.
Sure.
I'm not saying I'm not, but
why not?
But when they announced the Rian Johnson thing, they flat out said this is going to explore. And how is it not even more exciting to see something explored that has never been explored?
Yeah.
There must be something more to. He learned something making The Last Jedi. That either is in The Last Jedi or is not in The Last Jedi, but he came up with it while he was doing The Last Jedi. And he goes, you know what? This. And it's here. It's not here. It's here.
Yeah. And
the Skywalkers have nothing to do with it, but it lives in this world. And that's why we also did a video 8 months ago or something on Rian Johnson, the real the successor to George Lucas. This is complete. I think this is it. This is his new hope is coming now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to see what he comes up with. And I think that is what the Star Wars universe needs, because I love the Skywalker saga. I'm fine with it. If you want to give me 10, 11, 12, 30, I'm going to keep coming back to it. Yeah. But why not explore that? And if that doesn't work, you've still got Rey, because we're going to talk later on, Daisy Ridley retracted. So, you've always got it to come back to.
Yeah.
And the Old Republic is there anyway, and there's thousands of years that you can deal with and do whatever you want in there. Time in Star Wars land is endless. Why pigeonhole yourself to one era?
Right. Anyway. There's so many things, and we don't want it to be predictable. We want keep surprising us, and that's the crazy part. Everyone's all theories are this. Oh, Snoke is this, and Snoke is that, and Rey is this person, and unicorns are real. They want to be surprised. So why would you go out and demand this? It's now make it. And they're no, we're gonna do what we want. And Rian Johnson has more than the right to do whatever he wants, because he's been playing by the rules, and now he's the golden boy, and they're now it's time for me to create. And if you've seen any of the other things he's worked on, not that he's done a lot, they're all very interesting and unique. So bringing a new idea, this is a guy you want to bring there, because he can make an enjoyable show.
Yeah, and I think he understands, you kept hearing about how he wanted to be near the writers in the writers' room. He wanted his office to be moved there and all that. He understands what's going on. He sees the big picture, and I think he loves playing in that sandbox. and I'm fine with that. I mean, Star Wars was George Lucas's sole vision for years.
Yeah.
And if you like the prequels or not, it doesn't matter. It worked.
Yeah.
For 6 films, it worked. He made billions and billions of dollars. It worked. Now it's under, all these layers and, it's Kathleen Kennedy. But, she has to answer to Bob Iger and stockholders and whatnot.
It's a bigger deal now.
Yeah, but, but obviously all of those people have faith in Rian Johnson, and they've kind of been like, yeah, go do what you want.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how this all unfolds after The Last Jedi is received.
Right.
But anyway, the embargo is set to drop either Tuesday morning or Saturday night or at some point. So here's the deal, guys. I'm going to go dark probably on social media because I do not want to read that Snoke is a nobody.
Yeah.
I want to watch it in the movie. If you guys want to see it, that's fine. I don't personally. You guys do whatever you want. I'll do what I want. Brock's going to do what he wants. Rob is probably already knows the answer to that. I looked on some sites. But this is the thing. So the only thing I ask of you guys, please, and I love your comments on the comment section below. Love talking to you guys there. Let's keep it spoiler free on all the comments.
Yeah, for sure.
Going forward. So not just for me, but for everybody else reading them because people will, skim through them. So let's just play it safe because I think I've said this on the show before, and you know this when I posted the Instagram photo for The Force Awakens. The first comment was somebody I've never even met. Somebody just saw one of the hashtags, I guess, wrote down Han Solo dies.
Yeah.
I had to delete it right away because it was like we just saw it like the Thursday it came out and people were still in the theater and I was like, this is not fair.
It didn't spoil it for us, but it's just
but it spoiled it. Yeah,
douche mood. But okay, so we will definitely be posting some reactions.
Yes.
We will be trying to spoiler free as possible. We will give warnings, of course.
I think the Instagram reaction we do right after we see it will be spoiler free. It'll basically just be like, oh my God, I loved it, or oh my God, that was a letdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And then that night we'll get together and we will do and I think we'll do it like Rogue One where the first 10 minutes or so is spoiler free.
Yeah.
And then after that we'll go into spoilers. So it's just one video we have to do too, but there'll be a spoiler sign on it as soon as we go into spoilers and we'll let you know. Because we don't want to ruin it for everybody. We want everybody to enjoy this movie as much as we can. But Rey is a Skywalker.
What?
I cannot wait. I know she's not. I want her to be one just for you. Just for you. I want the movie to start with, I'm your father. And you're just like, nope. And you leave. I literally the crawl just ends and you're out the door. Okay, let's move on. Disney is going to buy Fox. What does this mean? It does not mean you're going to get the original cuts of Star Wars. I think those are dead forever or until George Lucas has passed away. That's what I think. Other than that, I don't think it means much for Star Wars.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't think so either.
Well, it will for A New Hope because I think Fox owns most of A New Hope.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised you said that because I thought that was one of the bigger deals because it's more of a big thing for Marvel because then they get officially get X-Men back. Yeah, and Fantastic Four or no, that already
and Fantastic Four and Deadpool and
Spider-Man, Sony. A surprise, they're launching new Fantastic Four books coming soon.
Oh, yeah.
Written by a Canadian, which is cool.
They killed them off. Not killed them, but they stopped.
They stopped doing it for a bit.
Yeah. Anyway, that's this. So I think A New Hope is mostly owned by Fox, and George Lucas has most of the rights, but Fox has a couple things. The distribution, I think, and that's why Disney's like, we can't really touch it.
Do we really need, it would be great to have original cuts.
Well, people always want the unspecialized edition, but I don't think we're ever going to get it. And George Lucas has said, look, the versions that we have now that people love or hate, whatever, that's it. And that's it. And I respect that. This is his thing. I don't care. If you have the original and you prefer watching it, that's fine. If you don't, there are things that I love in the special editions. There are things that I'm like, that's just how it is. But, it's like in Justice League, spoiler alert, I didn't like the way Superman came back, but I moved on because it was a big who cares. Anyway, speaking of moving on, we got 1 week to go until The Last Jedi.
It's been 1 week.
Have you seen the marketing now is really focusing on two things I've noticed. It's focusing on Kylo Ren saying, remove yourself from the past, kill it if you have to, whatever they says. And then Rey, choose a destiny or abandon your past or something. They're both very heavy on past, and they're both blue and red. Have you seen that? They're both, half their faces are blue, half their faces are red. Have you seen these? Yeah. See, this is, when I looked at that and I saw the Rey one, I was like, oh God, is she a Palpatine for real? Did Andrew write this? Like, because the way, if you just look at this marketing, it from her angle, from the Rey angle, it's like she was born of the dark side, and now she has a choice to choose the light side. Is that what you're getting from these poster thingies?
I think they're just trying to be as ambiguous as possible.
Well, it seems very Star Killery.
Yeah, but like
She's a Skywalker.
this is a bogus answer, but I just like I don't feel like you can be born of dark side or light side.
Well, no, but let's say, for argument's sake, you were Emperor Palpatine's love child.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Can you say that again?
She was Emperor Palpatine's love child, okay? For argument's sake. So you were born, your lineage is the biggest Sith Lord to ever live in our lifetime or the galaxy. And then you're like, oh, so I have... And she has a lot of hate in her. And she feels a pull to the dark and a pull to the light. This is what I'm saying. So she's like, maybe I'm destined to follow in his footsteps, or should I follow in these footsteps?
Yeah, I guess.
That seems what they're building us up for. It could be a whatever.
I mean, I don't think it's any different from what we've been talking about the last... Well, I would say, since Force Awakens, there's like, ooh, there's like... I don't know how this is going to go. Like, there's moments where you're like, oh, she could be going to the dark side. Again, ambiguous is the best term right now because we don't know. And I think whoever's making these trailers is aware of that. Like, I think I said before, or maybe I said it to you off mic, it was like, it'd be great to interview who makes these trailers for Star Wars because they get it. Like, and my point of bringing that up was like the Porg, right? You got one look at the Porg on the Millennium Falcon, and you're like, wow. And then a month or two later, you get Chewbacca swiping the Porg out of the way, and you're like,
and it's
like, that's
probably
genius
the same
marketing,
scene.
right?
It's probably like the same shot.
Oh yeah, it's exactly it. And like that's all you've seen. And there's like probably tons more Porg footage we are gonna see and not gonna see and what have you. So I think they cut it, like the whole like destroy the past, and it looks like he's gonna blow up the ship that Leia's on. Like that is a whole mislead of some sort. Maybe he's blowing up a ship, but thinking about Leia, and she's aware of his thoughts through the Force, just like when Han died. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Like
you feel like he might be talking to Rey in that speech now.
Yeah, like, that's true. Like he's not talking. He's in the ship, and it's voiceover. So. Yeah. When is that being said? I don't know.
Because, the Reylo thing, whether or not they get together is another story. We won't get into that today. But they're obviously having some kind of connection, and they're going to have scenes together. And if Snoke somehow gets her, I don't know if she's going to immediately go to Snoke. He might put her in like a prison cell, although she can open the door, I guess. But anyway, she's in a Force-sensitive prison cell. And Kylo might go there and talk to her and be like, look, if you want out of this, blah, 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 kill the past. Or she's like, I don't know what I'm destined to do. He goes, well, sometimes you're destined, like, that it could be in that. Like, where he's just kind of guiding her because I feel like, look, Snoke and Kylo both need Rey, I think, on some level. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to compare it to. I wanted to compare it to, like, Luke and Anakin and Palpatine. But it's not really the same thing. They're all, like... They want Luke to join them, but for evil, there's not... Well, I guess it's the same thing, yeah. Like, Kylo might want Rey to join him so they vanquish Snoke, which is the exact same idea. So,
Can you see, at the end of episode 9, Ben Solo, Luke Skywalker, and obviously Leia, all perishing?
Maybe.
Because if it's the end, quote unquote, of the Skywalker saga and Rey does not end up being a Skywalker, can you see them just like, this is the end of this bloodline?
Yeah. Yeah, possibly. Because I think as much as we talk a lot about a redemption, I agree with Josh from a couple weeks back saying it's like, no, like Kylo doesn't, we don't need another story of like good, evil turning good. Like I think he's going to be vanquished. But if there is a chance he does good, I think he's going to sacrifice himself too. Like
I think we talked about Rey sacrificing herself at the very end, but it could be Kylo. A lot of people in the contest, a lot of people wrote in that they don't think Kylo will necessarily be redeemed, but they do see him leaving like Snoke and whatnot and kind of accepting both sides, but never really being a good guy. And that I'm totally on board with all that. And it's 1 week to go One, I guess if you're in the movie or worked on it, you get to watch it Friday.
Yeah.
Critics, I think the world premiere is Saturday. The Canadian premiere, I believe, is Monday because Canada, which we're not going to anyway. And then Thursday, 6 p.m., we get to watch it.
Yay.
We'll hopefully have our review up that night. But hey, check out Instagram, Rebel Scum Podcast on Instagram for immediate reaction, spoiler-free reaction from me, you, Aaron, and Rob.
Yeah, and tag us in your reactions,
Yes.
and we'll maybe do something with it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll do what we can. We will do what we can. Speaking of doing what we can, we got to take a quick moment here to talk about our Patreon page. We are on Patreon.
Yay!
Thank you, everybody that has supported us on there. It's always overwhelming to see people
Yeah.
when they support you. It means
It's
a lot.
crazy. Why? Why are you spending your money on us?
Shh.
But
No, but
spend more money on us.
No, it means a lot. There are 4 different tiers. There's early access, which is $1, so you get everything a little bit early for $1. Plus, you get the cloning around show in the new year. The Imperial reward is $2. For $2, you get all that stuff early, cloning around, and you also get a documentary that Andrew will be hosting because everybody loves Andrew except for the two of us. For $3 is the Partisan group where you get all of that. Plus, you can write to us and we will talk about whatever you want us to talk about on this show and also on Scavenger Scum. And for $10 a month, you are a Rebel Scum yourself and you can appear on a few of our shows, Duel of the Fates and Vote No Confidence. And Duel of the Fates, might be something happening. And Vote No Confidence, one of our Patreons will be on Vote No Confidence on Sunday. So anyway, that's our Patreon. Just wanted to share the news and let you guys know. And a year ago, just over a year ago, but we're going to be so into Last Jedi going forward that we're going to talk a little bit a year ago. Rogue One came out a year ago, and I just watched it on the plane in November, like the 1st of November, 2nd of November when I was coming home. I watched it on the plane. Brock, what are your thoughts on Rogue One? Where do you see it in the grand scheme of Star Wars a year later?
I think it's higher. It's a new avenue in Star Wars we haven't seen before, where it's a lot less about big characters, but it's a vital part of it. I think I'll talk about it a little bit more when we get to top 5, which is about Rogue One. But I always think it's a very impressive with, normal people that, like Star Wars, where it's a movie, great, and then that's that. Not like us, where we talk about Star Wars 6 to 7 times a day. But people always talk about Force Awakens and Rogue One because those are the current Star Wars movies we're getting. And a lot of people, I would say 9 out of 10 people are like, I love them, but I loved Rogue One more than Force Awakens.
Yeah. I find it resonates with casual fans a lot more.
Yes, yeah. It is just so different. Even though it fits in the Star Wars galaxy. And you're like, oh, that's so cool. And it's funny how Star Wars can make full movies or trilogies out of like brief little blurbs, like it's like, oh, your father, I fought with him in the Clone Wars, and then they made a whole prequel, 3 movies about that, and then they don't really. It's not like so many Bothans died, bringing us the plans. That's the second Death Star, but then the first
Rogue
one
2 again.
Yeah, no, I think they should make that movie, even though it won't be as exciting as the first one. It could be, but like, they should just make another one. But it's kind of cool. It's like, we brought you these plans. They were very hard to get these plans. Like, it's very important that nobody gets, like, we get these plans to the rebels. And it's just, I mean, the whole like layup giving it R2 is like, well, how did she get the plans? And this is how we know. That's the whole movie is just about that when you really think about it. So it's a great movie, and it makes me optimistic for anything they put out.
It makes me say when Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm fires directors, it makes me go, well, they figured it out on Rogue One. And this is a movie that, and I've said this before, that it grows on me, and every time I see it, I appreciate it more and like it more. And it was, out of the Star Wars movies, it was the one that I wanted to watch on the plane. I could have watched any one I wanted, but that was the one that I was like, I'm going to watch Rogue One. And I think that says a lot about the movie and where it's going to rank in my ranking Star Wars.
Yeah.
But it doesn't beat the Phantom Menace. Not in your life. Never. Phantom Menace is number 1. It's Phantom Menace. Number 2.
It's like your wife, Phantom Menace, and then the rest of Star Wars.
Yeah. No, I can't wait. No, but sorry, going back to ranking Star Wars. I can't wait because last time we did it, you guys got so mad. When we first started, no one saw this, but before we started recording, it was like, I don't really like Liz. They're all one movie to me. I love them, blah, blah, blah. And then the minute the list came out, Force Awakens was like 6 or something on it. And everyone was like, whoa, what? What? So I can't wait to see. Josh already said he's ready to argue. So I'm absolutely. Do you want to talk about? We'll talk about this briefly. The press tour for Last Jedi is on, and
it's great. It's cool they're doing a lot of stuff. They were on Jimmy Kimmel. That was a big deal. But like,
the first word spoken is "we're." Apparently, the first 2 words are "we're not," and the next words and the next ones are "we're not going to take it anymore." We're not gonna take it. Anyway, so the movie's gonna start with "we're." I don't really care. It was like when the Force Awakens is, it starts with this. Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's the last word that I'm worried about, and it's going to be Rey Skywalker. So the last word spoken will be Rey Skywalker. The Force Awakens, though, at this point in time, I had most of that movie figured out based on the commercials and TV spots.
Yeah.
This one, I haven't really paid attention to the TV spots. Like, I've watched films to do these shows, but I haven't really, I haven't been trying to figure out the plot either. But I know nothing about this movie.
Yeah.
Is it a Star Wars movie?
Is it a Star Wars movie?
Yeah. There's
partially.
A
it's a Star Wars radio play. It's great.
With John Lithgow as Yoda.
What was I gonna say now? Shoot.
I just ruined your train of thought. Red kyber crystal around Luke's neck. I really hope. I really hope he heals it and he has a white blade. I know Josh is like ignite the green, but I am ignite the white.
Oh yeah, ignite the green.
I love ignite the white. It would be cool though if Luke just shows up at the end. Hell's breaking loose. You're like, Rey's dead. Kylo's going to die soon. Leia, we don't know. She's off somewhere. Somewhere Chewie's down with a porg. They're dead meat. And then Luke, all of a sudden, all you see is Snoke's face. There's Snoke's face, and then a white blade just goes.
Yeah.
In the foreground.
If we did previews for the show, that whole part would have been like, and then this happens, and this happens. All this and more on new Rebel Scum podcast. I hope it doesn't go that crazy where like people are.
Brock, whatever. It's going over the top. Everyone dies in this movie.
In this one.
Everyone dies. Episode 9 is Luke alone.
What do we do now?
Episode 9 is Luke going back to Tatooine. He's alone. It's like, what's that Gus Van Sant movie where it's like Matt Damon? No, it's Jerry. Is it Jerry where he's just alone in the desert? Google it. That's this movie. It's just Luke alone in the desert for 2.5 hours.
He goes to Burning Man.
No one's gonna. I don't think that's gonna happen. But I'm just saying, there's some, things are happening, and then
for sure,
it won't happen. But that's where I'm going on this one. Did you figure out your train of thought yet?
No.
Okay, I was trying not to have dead air on that one.
Moving along
to
Never Tell Me the Schmods cast.
Hello.
Never tell me the
tell
pods.
Me the odds. So this odd deals with the odds of. Can I add a fourth odd?
Yeah.
The odds of Brock leaving the theater when it's revealed that Rey is the Skywalker.
Full Brock, man. Full Brock.
Right?
You should make me sit in the dead center of the row where I'm like, damn it.
And I'll sit next to you, and when they're like, you're a Skywalker, I'm going to go like this. Like, walk that way. Don't walk in front of me. Walk that way.
And your dad'll, if I get out, your dad'll like go full Larry David and be like, where are you going? Hey, I only paid money. Hey.
He would. I'm so curious to see what my dad thinks of this movie. He loved Rogue One, but in Force Awakens, he's like, sorry.
It's done.
So anyway, the odds of Snoke dying in The Last Jedi.
25% I'm going to go with.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't think he'll die. I think it'll be left to the end.
I'm really curious to see who the main villain is, and if it ends up being Kylo, I want Snoke to go now. But and this, I don't think he will. I'm gonna go 45 because I want to go full Brock. But we should not be allowed to go full Brock on today's show.
Full Brock.
I'm gonna go 45%
on this one, so it's all good.
I don't think he is, but I'm curious because we know nothing about him.
Yeah.
So because we know nothing about him, Rian Johnson could have come in here and been like, he's actually like we were talking about on this months ago, how he's a fraud and he needs to die now. Like, this is the movie he needs to die so that this can happen. And that's very plausible at this point in time. I mean, people that are going Friday will know, but we won't for a week. The odds of Snoke leaving Acta in The Last Jedi.
You say Snoke or Luke?
Luke.
I like that one too. I'm gonna go 75% because I feel like he gotta just keep moving that character. But I like the idea of him not leaving. Like he legit is just a Yoda character. I think. Are you referring to his demise will come on?
No, just leaving the island.
He just won't leave the planet.
Like because Rey shows up, but that doesn't mean he's done doing whatever he went there for.
I think after like a whole movie where he's just in it for 2 seconds and he doesn't say anything, like you're like, okay, Mark, we're gonna make you do stuff. But then he's also supposed to have that battle with Kylo. So the question is,
happens on October, apparently.
Does it? Oh yeah, because of the hives. Or
I love that we're remembering stuff from a year ago that we read on some BS site. Actually, I don't know if it was a BS site.
It was Making Star Wars, my favorite website.
Was it actually that one? Okay, so that's a legit site. It was like Joe Blow's
and it was
blog.
like part of it was Lumberjack Jim or something like that. But like that was all nestled into like stuff like this, like Luke will wear this kind of thing and he'll have like jewel, and then like
they got a lot of it right there.
Yeah, I mean the stormtroopers they drew were like, yep, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. It's not, it wasn't just a random. Like, it was like a real thing. So I mean,
too legit.
If we go back and listen to all of our shows, we'll probably be able to piece together this movie because I'm pretty confident that reading those sites, we have. It's funny what you forget. What we've talked about all the time and what we're totally forgetting. And I really want to hear Luke mention the Force Tree.
Someone should do a super cut of me saying the same theories over and over again.
That would be awesome.
That'd be great.
I'm gonna go 61% because he's gonna ignite the white or green. It'll probably be green.
Ignite.
How would you feel if for some reason he had a white blade or a blue blade or a purple blade, but not the green one?
Why wouldn't he have it?
Or what if he ignited the red, like the one around it? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Everyone's ignite the green. Everybody wants to see the green. Nostalgia, the green. Fan service is the green. But what if it makes sense in the story that he has this one?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it would bother me. It would be cool, but like white, I just want to see him fight. So like a white lightsaber is interesting too because it's like it plays into all that. It makes that stuff sort of film canon now. Like, some people don't like it, but I do like the idea that like, when you become a Sith, you have to get your own kyber crystal from a Jedi, and it turns red because you murdered them to get their kyber crystal, and then that you can purify by white. Yeah. Was that the question?
Yeah.
All right, wait. Moving on.
If Luke doesn't have a green one, are you gonna cry?
No.
Are you also gonna leave the theater then? You're gonna come back.
No.
You're gonna come back in.
It's like, is it green? Yes.
Okay, I'm back. You're not gonna. You're just gonna be like, I'm leaving. I gotta look at my Topps trading cards.
Oh yeah.
I'm
excited for those.
Just give me your popcorn. The odds of Finn killing Captain Phasma.
40%. I feel like Phasma deserves to live on a little bit. But I think that there is going to be someone has to fall in this movie, and maybe that's the easy way out. But like,
yeah, I question. Like, obviously, look, she's after Finn, blah blah blah. She's the whole thing, and Rian Johnson's not going to make her a nothing character. I don't think. I have no idea though. But yeah, like we've seen that they fight. Yeah. So it has to get. I believe somebody wrote this. It has to get interrupted for it not to end in death for one of them.
Right.
I'm gonna go 49, as close to a full rock as I can, because I don't.
Close as a full.
I don't think she will, but I also really do think she will. Like I don't know where her story would go. It's almost like she could have been killed off in The Force Awakens very easily, but they decided to do the trash compactor joke, right. And then now we got a novel and things in the comics, and it's all a lot better. But now, if it's coming to a head and they both are going at it, it's gonna either get something like something's gonna blow up beside them and separate them, or one of them is gonna kill the other one. Yeah, and I don't see Finn going down in this movie.
No,
I think he's way too prevalent to go in this one. He could go in the next one because in the next one anyone. But at the same time, like Star Wars has never killed off their main heroes.
Yeah,
except for Padme. Yeah. Arguably, I guess.
But she has to die.
Yeah.
And it's not till like the very, very end of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I just, why would, and again, going back to money talks, why would you kill off a character that you can continue stories on? I don't see that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I said it before. I feel like Rey, Poe, and Finn are new characters, and we follow them in future trilogies.
Yeah.
But
I love Finn. I want him. I want to watch his days as a Stormtrooper. Because I love Stormtroopers. Anyway, that was Never
Never tell me
the odds. Are you ready to talk a bit?
Yeah.
Hollow news.
Hollow news. The news that you knew was new, but didn't know that knowing the news was knowing the power.
All right.
In our first story, cast of Last Jedi reflected on Carrie Fisher and what she meant to them. Obviously, of course, it's not opening. Of course, Carrie Fisher was quite a character, so any work you do with her was interesting. In a recent interview, Mark Hamill mentioned that it's God. Why won't it open? Stand by. Anyways, I don't have the story in front of me. I forget what the words. I want to quote it properly. It's he said it was like super sad, but that's not it. Sorry, computer problemos. Anyways, so yeah, a lot of them reflected on Oscar Isaac said like it was crazy how close to her life is sort of mirrored in this movie, because the character can't live forever. So inevitably, not that she was doomed from the start, but like to lose her this soon in both movie and reality, it's crazy. And that's pretty much it, because I can't open the freaking article. So next story, Mark Hamill commented on Force Awakens. I don't know how new this is, because I feel like I've heard this before. But he mentioned that it was really hard for him to get ready for Force Awakens, because he had to lose like 50 pounds, and it was like torture for him, because I don't know, it was just traumatizing and stuff like that. And when he read the script and the lightsaber in the forest zooms out, but then he's like, yes, this is me. And Rey catches it instead. He was shocked. And especially to see that he doesn't even get to say anything in the actual movie. He apparently woke up his wife and said, look at this, look what they've done to my character. So that's pretty cool that like it's the script isn't out to make certain actors look good or bad, and none of these actors have control about what their characters actually do. Next story, we reported this last week, where Daisy's really commenting about her future in the trilogy, and she's saying that she won't do another one after this third one. So she clarified when she signed up. This is her. When Daisy really, I'll quote her: "When I did sign up for 3 films, and that's where I sort of saw the story ending. I think everyone has perhaps taken me as going, I don't want anything to do with it, which is vastly untrue, because Star Wars is awesome." So she's just sort of saying, well, as of right now, I don't have anything past episode 9. So, I think she's aware that it would be unwise to turn anything down from Star Wars. But, like, you got to understand, like, she's an actress and she doesn't want to play the same character over and over and over again. But, it's hard to say no to that. Star Wars money. And in our last story, Rian Johnson got his own collectible Porg from the puppetry, the Star Wars Creature Shop that created the originals for the movie. So it's pretty much one of those puppets, but apparently he can control the facial expressions, and what have you. And it's exactly like what you would see in the movie. So this is the perks of being the director. You get your own Porg.
I've been trying to win a Porg on the Den of Nerds for months. It's actually been a month, because we do live streams there, and he gives away prizes.
Yeah.
And the first week was a Porg plushie, and I was like, I want that. And he goes, you're not eligible. So anyway,
yeah,
I saw a Porg at the Disney store for sale, like a stuffed plush Porg, and I was like, yeah, and I didn't look at the price. I should have bought it, but I haven't seen that much Porg stuff, so I'm still confused why people hate them. But I love them; they're amazing. And now,
Books and comics.
We're going to talk briefly about your favorite book ever written, Stephen King's Skeleton Crew.
Oh, that's like one of the ones I haven't read, even though I have that book.
True story. The only Stephen King book I've ever owned or read was Stephen King's Skeleton Crew, because the first story is The Mist.
Yeah,
and it's like,
oh wait,
yeah.
I have read The Mist.
Yeah, it's the first story, and I didn't read past that, and that's all I've ever read of Stephen King in my life. Yep. We're gonna talk about Catalyst.
Catalyst. Oh, that's
because this Rogue One was a year ago, and a lot of people say, well, if you haven't read Catalyst, you don't understand Rogue One. I completely disagree. I think Catalyst makes Rogue One better.
First things first, side Akbar, there are no rules in how you can enjoy Star Wars movies, so relax.
What?
There are 0 rules.
Okay.
Don't be a jerk. The same with the embargo thing. It's like, yes, after that, blah, 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 but just be a person and not ruin everything.
But they're going to. That's the
Oh, yeah, no, it's the internet's the worst.
That's how it is. It's like...
Hi, internet. Please enjoy our videos.
No, but it's true. People are going to like...
Yeah.
Well, in 3 minute mark of the movie, Luke Skywalker...
Actually, Luke doesn't do that. So back to Catalyst.
Like, I saw the movie with Aaron and my parents, and none of those 3 read Catalyst, and all 3 of those loved the movie.
Yeah.
So like when you read it, you get the backstory, so it makes things a little bit deeper. But I would recommend it to a Star Wars fan, obviously.
Yeah. It's like the comics and the books; they just give you that extra flavor. They take you an extra step that you're like, oh, that's very cool. Now, like, that book is solely about the relationship between Krennic and Galen Erso. Like, Jyn is in it, but she's not an important. She's important, but like she's not a main character. She's half the time she's just like, oh hi, I'm Jyn, and then walks out the room.
That's what her lines were in the movie, the original cut before the reshoots. Hi, I'm Jyn.
So I mean, I would argue like you don't need it to enjoy Rogue One, but you can you understand more like what was at stake. Where like Galen Erso wants to work with kyber crystals for energy. I can't remember the exact. Like he's like, wow, we could do stuff with kyber crystals. This is awesome. And then Krennic took advantage of that. It's like, oh, we could shoot this and blow up planets. Great. So you get the sense of that in that book. And you don't see that in the story. So it's like, oh, why did, like, if you don't read the book, you're just like, oh, okay, well, that guy's the bad guy, and that's the good guy's dad. So that's sad. He died. Yeah. It was like if all you had was the movie, it was like, oh, that's just a plot device to get us from here to there to like get our character involved. Like, but in the book, it's just like, wow. And then of course you get a little bit of Saga Rare at the end. So it's like, oh, all these pieces are starting to fit together.
Yeah. And that reminds me of what we say about Snoke too. Is like, you don't need that much in a movie. The average fan doesn't need that much. The average fan just needs bad guy, good guy, plot.
Porg.
Porgs are bad, man. What if porgs were full of dark side?
That's hard to say because they don't have like moral code.
They just sort of live. Do you know that?
They don't have morals like humans do.
Do you know that?
They just live in the Force and that's it. They just
There's no Force. They live on an island.
But the island is a Force.
Is it?
It's a pillow Force.
Top 5.
Top 5. Hey, top 5. What is the top 5 today?
So definitely get Catalyst if you haven't.
Yeah, it's an awesome, like, it's a great book, and it works well with the movie.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a catalyst for it.
Top 5 Rogue One moments.
Whoa!
My number 5 is everyone dies.
That's valid.
Everyone dies because you kind of were like, well, everyone's got to die. And then when everyone dies, you're like, everyone dies.
You're like, no.
But it's funny, though, because, I'm watching it over and over. It's like K2SO still has the most emotional death where you're like, oh, son of a bitch. He's like, oh, don't. Because his death is so slow. Everyone else blows up.
Yeah.
Everyone blows up except for K2SO. And it's like, he just gets shot for hours. K2, man, just go in with him.
Yeah.
So that's my number 5.
My number 5 was the CG that they used for like a lot of things, but specifically Tarkin and Leia. Like, some people don't like it. I argue it's amazing. I mean, I wish we could just use it and put Carrie Fisher back into episode 9, but I respect what their choices are. And you hear more about this in our upcoming, not Duel of Fates,
Saturday at 12
not
p.m.
Flying
Eastern.
Casual.
Vote of no confidence.
Vote of no
Saturday
confidence
at 12 p.m. Eastern.
Ooh.
Yeah, every time I look at you, I start laughing because of that.
Yup. So I just loved it. Like it, and the best part was like we knew Tarkin was gonna be in, we knew Leia was gonna be in. Like that was not a surprise.
I was surprised we saw Tarkin's face.
Yeah, like that. I think I knew what the actor looked like, but that like his face, he looked so real. Like that's great. So number 5.
My number 4, Two Tubes and Zaz Partisans. I love all that group. I love Two Tubes. Everyone knows how I feel about Two Tubes. I would like to see more of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we ever will or can, but I really, really enjoyed those guys.
In the same vein, I have a similar answer. Number 4 for me is just Jeddah. Like, it's a very cool place. It's similar. It's got that Cantina vibe where there's just a lot of cool characters. There's like history of kyber crystals. There's this new part of the Force, or not really the Force, but the Force culture that we learn about. And it's just really cool. We seem to run into a lot of different characters there that have to do with, and Saw Gerrera's partisans are really cool. So I include that all in there. It's just a lot of fun place.
That's my number 3 is Jeddah.
I was going to say, wouldn't it be a cool level or mission in Battlefront if you had to go to Jeddah? Like they don't have a Jeddah level, do they? But it was like a slightly different mission where you're in a crowd and you got to like not, if you're a good guy, if you're like Jin or the Rebels or whoever you're playing as, you have to keep your like collateral damage as low as possible.
That'd be awesome.
Like, and then the other team is just destroying things and trying to get you at any means. So my number 3 is Battle of Scarif, because there's a lot of cool, like, as everyone knows, I love X-Wings. So there's a lot of battles with X-Wings, but I think Scarif is a lot of fun because it's out in orbit and it's also on the ground. It's probably like the closest thing we have to a Return of the Jedi sort of battle between the new Death Star and Endor. Like, so good. And it's just so many things happening all at once. It's a fun level in Battlefront 2. So
my number 2 is Scarif. The Battle of Scarif. Same thing, and I love U-Wings, by the way. And U-Wings come in, the X-Wings, and Blue Leader. And apparently in the original, in New Hope, the original idea was that Luke Skywalker would fly, and he would be in the Blue Squadron. Mm-hmm. But because of the blue screens, they couldn't have blue screens. Red. So that's how it works. So I like that they incorporated the blue in there, and they used the old footage from A New Hope with Gold Leader. And it was just, I love Scarif Troopers. Just that scene, Pow and all that is very fantastic.
I would also argue like Scarif is kind of what combines all these things together. Yeah. Because the Battle of Scarif is what leads us to A New Hope. And it also kind of combines like Rebels too, because of that, what's happening on Yavin, and then like in Scarif, we see the Ghost, we see Chopper, we hear, General Syndulla. So it's like, ooh, it's almost like it's a very important. Because then, of course, they get the plans, but it's a very important battle. Like, it's just like, it's almost, having watched Rebels, it's like one of their biggest battles, I would argue, besides like Mon Mothma saying, "We are a rebellion."
Well, that's their first battle that they win.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
When you read the crawl of A New Hope, so they just won their first battle.
Mm-hmm.
They just got their first victory, I believe it refers to it.
Right.
In the crawl.
Big time.
So it's huge. Huge.
My number 2 is everything K2SO, because he is the best part of that movie.
Wow.
Straight up. I know I didn't put him at number 2, but when I say my number 1, you'll understand. K2SO is great. Like, if they ever were to do reshoots of movies or special editions, you'll see a K2SO style droids walking.
I'm weirded out that they haven't been in Rebels yet.
No, they're putting him in comics. I see that style of droid all the time. So,
my number 1, Vader.
My number 1 is also Darth Vader, and that's what. Like, that is Star Wars history right there. Because, like, you never see Vader move like that. And it's still, like, true to how he moved around in other movies. But, like, you're like, yes, this is the Force. Like, the closest thing we've had to it is, like, maybe something in the prequels or, like, Kylo. But I was thinking about, like, Kylo and Rey in the forest fighting is... It's different. Like, it's...
Yeah, no.
And he's not wearing a mask. So, like, just what you can accomplish without having to wear that mask and that kind of suit, that getup. So amazing. Like, it's like, this is what the Force can do.
I love the meme where it says, "Sand! We need sand!" When he's yelling out the rebels yelling out the door. Love it. That's my favorite. I love the Vader scene. When I first got it, I bought it on iTunes, and at like 11:59, I got a message, "Rogue One is in your library." And I was like, "Ooh!" Click. And I fast forward and watched the Vader scene like 20 times. Because I knew I wasn't going to finish the movie, so I watched that like 20 times. And I think I went to Scarif and then watched Jedi. But
Yeah.
I absolutely love that scene. It excites me for more. Are we going to get Mustafar? Maybe we should say this next week. We're Mustafar in Last Jedi. What do you think?
Maybe. I feel like they want to do something big with it.
Yeah.
That's why I bring him back. Because, like, you could put a Vader anywhere you wanted.
I hope so. We'll save that. I really hope that we get more of that. This is 71. We're going to do a show before our review, episode 72 next week.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah, we'll do that, and then the review won't be an episode. It'll be like a special blah, blah, but you'll see it on there. Just click on whatever.
Yeah!
It'll be fun. Like I said, the first 10 minutes or so will be non-spoiler on the review, and then we'll go into spoilers after that. And our reactions on Instagram, we promise we will not ruin anything about the movie.
No, we will just be
Brock,
me openly sobbing. It's beautiful.
If Brock doesn't appear on the Instagram story, that means that Rey is a Skywalker.
I'll go to Murder on the Orient Express to review that.
I like the next episode. You just be like, no,
this is done.
no.
I rush home and erase everything that we made with Rebel Scum podcast. No, it's like, it'll be like, it's beautiful, America, the land of the free.
I'm curious to see what my reaction is gonna be. I'm gonna like it. I think that's an obvious. I think most people watching this video are gonna like it. That's just the nature of who we are.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious to be like, I really like that. Or if it's going to be like, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of moments in that because they're moving forward, you have to kill the past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, yeah. So I think there's going to be moments where I'm like, they did that. You know, like, they went that direction. And I'll feel conflicted. And that will be why The Phantom Menace is the greatest Star Wars movie ever made, because nothing in that movie
or that line is just cut up and it's actually the full length is like, those pickles really kill the pasta salad. And they just have a picnic in the middle of it.
That's when I leave the theater and join you at the Orient Express. Somebody tweeted out that their son wanted to see Murder on the Polar Express. Like,
that's the next one.
All right, this is the next one. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I'm James. This is Brock. Where can everybody find you at?
Canada. No, at BF Smink on Instagram and Twitter.
You can find me at Petzafina, PEZZAFINA, PEZZ.
Fine pizza.
FINA, yeah, pretty much. And that's on everything: Twitter, Instagram, PlayStation 4, where you can kick my butt at Battlefront 2. And trust me when I say you can kick my butt, I mean you can kick my butt. I am absolutely horrific at this game, but I have a lot of fun. I've unlocked Luke and Vader. I have not unlocked anybody else. Why? Because I'm lazy. I have the money. I have the credits. Credits. I have them. But you know, I've got to choose between this one and I'm like, and I don't really care. And I don't play heroes versus villains. And when I do, I'm Darth Maul, Darth Vader, or Luke. So
at Akbar, I'm playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and there's a fish called something Porgy. And I'm like, it's just a fish. So.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. This is the 71st episode. We'll see you next week for 72. May the force of others be with you.
Yeah.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.